Bonjour y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dawn and I'm an American expat living in France, and this video is my 2-year anniversary. It is my 2-year anniversary today from when I left Atlanta to move here to live in Nice, France. And so I did a 1 year, I did a 1.5 year assessment. So today I'm going to do another little assessment about living here in Nice, France. And believe it or not, there are new things between the 1.5 year point that I have learned and realized, making it up to the 2-year mark. So let's get into it. When I realize the things that I realize and the differences that I realize is when I actually make my trip back home, back to Atlanta, because this is home. So I usually go once a year. Usually it's in the summertime, like in the month of April or in the month of May. And I usually go for a couple of weeks. So the first time I went, it was a little teeny tiny culture shock, not too big, but going back this year, for some reason, it was just not so much the culture shock, but I just realized how much my life has changed. For instance, my ability to get out and walk. I'm sitting on my balcony, get out and walk, and the beach is right there. Walk everywhere. I don't have to get into a car. I don't have to worry about parking. All of that stuff. I was highly annoyed. I was annoyed that I had to rent a car. I was annoyed that I had to pay for gas. I was annoyed that I had to be in that nasty ass Atlanta traffic. I was just annoyed that I had to drive everywhere. There was nothing that I needed that was walkable for me. And even my everyday walks that I do here, it's part of my routine, it's part of my life. And every morning, for the most part, I will get up and I will walk without even thinking about it. I want to walk, being outside in nature and everything. Even trying to find some place that I felt safe to walk to was a problem. I pretty much had to get in the car, and then I had to drive to where I felt or thought was safe. So that I got annoyed doing that because of the traffic. Then to get out and to be in an area that's a trailed area and it's supposed to be safe, I have to honestly admit I was very nervous. Never felt that way before, because again, the things that happen in the United States, I just did not feel comfortable, and I was by myself, and I walk here by myself all the time. So that was one of the main things, is that my routine was uprooted. I realized that now I have my routine of the things that I do here in Nice, and you know, I feel safe. I can go out late at night by myself and walk. I don't feel any kind of safety issues or concerns, like I need to kind of, you know, look over my shoulder. And for those of y'all that might say, oh, you're exaggerating, no, the hell I'm not, because I was a criminal prosecutor before I left the United States and a criminal defense attorney. So I know, at least in Atlanta, and I'm sure across all the United States, I know what really goes on crime-wise in places that a lot of you all go to, frequent, live in, that you wouldn't even know exists. So I'm extra cautious because I know the real. So I did not feel comfortable doing my walks in places where it was too wooded, where there would not be people wouldn't be able to see me if something should happen, where it was, you know, where someone could pop out of some damn woods. So that was one of the first things. The other thing that really bothered me is that I realized how much my eating habits have changed. I don't eat heavy food in the morning. I eat very light in the morning. I eat very light at night. My food's not covered with all kinds of sauces and all kinds of extra stuff. It's more of a clean eating over here. And then I also realized that whether it was, and I ate in a lot because I was eating home cooked meals, which were great, but it's still made with the food that's processed in the United States. And within a week of me arriving in Atlanta, my fingers, I swole up and I could not wear my rings for the rest of for the duration that I was there. My fingers swole up and I could not wear my rings, and that was just due to the quality of food. Then I went to the grocery store and totally tripped out on the prices, because it almost seemed like the little prices, I've become French, I was complaining about over here for like a bag of chips. It's double, almost triple that over there in the United States. So those were the two biggest things that affected my quality of life more than I realized, but because I've been so far removed from that lifestyle, it was very obvious now coming back on a few months ago, so shy of me being here for 2 years. So of course always enjoy coming to see my friends, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some things, like my Mexican foods and my sushi, and I have to be honest, even when I went to the Mexican food places there, number one, I couldn't eat as much as I used to. I used to could go to a Mexican place, down some tortilla chips with salsa, and then eat a whole ass burrito. I could not do that. I could not finish my food. So I don't eat the same way, which contributes to my health. One of the things that I will say is that prior to me leaving the US, my sugar numbers were high. I didn't take any medication after I finished the medication that my doctor put me on when I first got here, and my numbers are low. I did not have to do anything to bring down my sugar. And again, like I've said before, even the sugar over here is processed differently than the sugar there. So my entire eating habit is more centered around Mediterranean, because that's how it is in Nice, France. It's more Mediterranean-ish type, it's a lot of Italian, you have olives and you have veggies, things of that nature. So the biggest thing for me going back this time was the whole health issue, physically and also eating the food. So that was a big deal for me. And even living here in Nice, and I travel to other places, I feel like I've been here forever. This is definitely where my spirit's supposed to be, because I'll go somewhere and maybe after about 6-7 days, if it's that long, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. So that's my assessment in regards to that. The prices in the U.S. are even higher than they were before compared to the prices here. I have a whole wonderful group of friends, and actually even a whole family over here that takes care of me, so I love that. And also one of the other things that this time I noticed that I didn't really notice the last time was relatability. Like, in other words, the things that I took part in every day on a regular basis, the hustle, the grind, the mentality. Of course, I was a part of it, didn't see anything different about it, didn't really pay any attention. And then I left. And when I was here for the first year, still settling in, still, getting my mindset changed. But now after being here for 2 years, I realized that I don't think I could live in the United States ever again. The whole culture of hustling, grinding, always have to be doing something. Every minute of your day, you've got to be doing something. There's no taking out time to just be. People are just existing to live, to enjoy outside, to enjoy travel, to enjoy nature, to enjoy the company of other people, really. But the social media, they do social media over here, but it's not to the extent that it is in the United States. I go to restaurants here, we are having conversations, we are talking. Unless we're showing people, something, you do not see people sitting at a table just flicking up on their Instagram or their Facebook, scrolling. You don't see people on their phones. They are actually having conversations and enjoying each other's company, which is not done as much now as it used to be in the United States. The hustle and grind mentality, I ain't for that shit no more. I'm sorry. Folks say, oh, well, you can do this, you can do that. Honestly, I have like 5 projects that I could have up and going. If I was still in the United States, I would be hustling to get all of those 5 projects done. Now I'm kind of like, I'm gonna get to it when I feel like it. I'm not in that hustle mode. One, because I've removed myself from it and I see how much and how better my quality of life is, not being stressed out, being in hustle mode. But 2, I don't need it. And if I don't need to hustle because I'm able to live and not struggle, why would I hustle? It's not about having 4, 5 jobs, making this kind of money, and trying to save up for 10, 15 years from now. My ass may not make it till next year. God willing, I will, but I just don't have, and that's the biggest thing that I find, that sometimes I've become a little unrelatable with some of the friends that are still there, because they're still talking about that stuff where I'm like, it's foreign to me now. it's negative, I don't really want to talk about that shit. And so I don't want to engage in that kind of subject. So that's one of the things that's definitely different is I definitely see that now, being gone for this long. And as a result of that, then yes, I will probably lose, or there will be less communication with certain people that are still there, and that's just, they're constant. That they're always talking about the stress of work, the hustle, the grind, the complaining, the food, all the stuff that I did once complain about. Now I don't have to complain about that because I no longer live that. So to me now, it's negative, and that just brings this kind of aura into my positive sphere that I don't want. So that is a big thing, is realizing that, and realizing that once you move abroad, there will be many things that will become unrelatable to you, and so as a result of that, you may lose friends, or you may not be in contact with them or speak to them on a regular basis like maybe you once did. So that's pretty much it, y'all. I mean, I really still can't complain about anything. Of course, I can always complain about the bureaucracy and the government. I'm going through my renewal process now. So this is going to be my last year. I'm renewing on a student visa. I still attend Alliance Française, and my French, j'ai amélioré mon français. J'ai parle français plus qu'avant, parce que je parle avec mon ami et la mère, la père de mon ami, parfois 2 jours par semaine. Donc, j'ai plus confiance en parler français. So, I ain't translating that, but I'm just saying, basically, I speak more French now because I talk more with a couple of people twice a week, and so now I feel more confident about speaking my French. I am at a B1.3 level. When I ended, I was at a B2. I still don't feel like I'm really at B2 level, because for me, it's still the oral comprehension when people speak too fast, which is normal for any language, anyone learning a new language. But I absolutely feel more confident in speaking. I've had to deal with the exterminator. I've had to deal with the maintenance guy. I've had to deal with the doctor, all in French. So I feel really good about that. And again, I'm going to reiterate, if you are thinking about moving abroad, even if it's a place that there are a lot of English-speaking people, you need to learn the goddamn language. And again, I'm going to reiterate, if you are thinking about moving abroad, even if it's a place that there are a lot of English-speaking people, you need to learn the goddamn language. The biggest thing, the bureaucracy. So I'm going through that now. Every year France changes their laws. So I'm going to upload a video on that, because they've changed their rules on how I show my resources. So I didn't know that, and so I found that out recently. But besides the bureaucratic bullshit and them just kind of taking their time, because I submitted it in the first week in July, it's up in October. But besides the governmental inefficiency and bureaucracy, the other thing that agitates me is that their business minds, of course, because we're all about money, they're not, is a little closed-minded sometimes. They definitely need help on marketing, advertising things, because there's so many things that happen you don't know, because they don't advertise or market well. IT is an area that if someone wants to try to get a work visa, probably could get a work visa, because it's an area where they're lacking that talent in this particular country. So that means they have to go outside of the country. So that would be a good area. But besides those two things, I have been the happiest I've been in my life for a long time. And I am honestly not saying this just to say it. I am really stress-free. Everyone's gonna always have a little bit of stress. I always stress about money. That's my big deal. But besides that, if I do get agitated, it's with some shit that's going on over there. Which is why over here, I don't delve in the news that much. I'll read headlines, gotta know what's going on. I still have a family there. Of course, I'm still an American citizen, but I do not get too involved in reading articles or watching videos, even like the TikTok videos with the politics, I scroll past them. It's just too damn negative. I refuse to move over here and bring that negativity with me. It defeats the purpose of me moving. So I'm really very much more calm, laid back. Today is Friday. I went out and had breakfast with my BFFF. The weather has changed a little bit, which is great. It's not as hot. I'm probably gonna go out and walk by the sea, and then whatever the day brings. That's it. Get on my computer, work on a couple things, but that's it. And we always say when we're in that hustle and grind, I wish that I can just not have to work for a couple of months. I wish that I had the time to just go and just fart off the day. And it's not farting off, it's taking time for yourself. And that's the other thing, is changing your language. We wish that when we're in that sphere, and then when you get out of that sphere, you realize how lovely it is. But it did take me about 1.5 years for me to get out of that PTSD of being always having to do something as an American in the United States. That when I wasn't, I felt like, oh my God, I'm wasting time. I should be doing something. I don't feel that way anymore. So that's my 2-year assessment, you guys. I love it here. Nice is fabulous. Traveling is great. I am coming out my planner, my expat planner, which is a planner / journal for those manifesting, whether it's a year from now, 2 years, 5 years from now. But it's a planner that I made that I also give my tips in there, things that you need to know that you won't be able to find on Google, or it's just too confusing to find, or any countries that you desire to move to. So this would be a great way, not for you to only get the information you need, but to also manifest it true to form, because I also feel when you write things down, it just makes it more touchable, feelable, tangible. And so that will be coming out on Amazon on the 1st of October. So if you are one of those people, or if you know someone who is thinking about that, please look out for that October 1st. I will be pubbing it on my social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, and definitely on TikTok, which I have a lot of people that are interested in this subject on my TikTok following. So yes, you can do it. It's doable. It comes not without some pains, not without some trials and tribulations, but if it's something that you really want, it can be done. And I encourage anyone, even if you're just in the planning stage, it's great for you to know, what kind of money you need to have, what do you need to take a look at. So these are some of the things that it's not just a planner, it's also a resource that I have in this planner, and it's called my Expat Planner, Manifesting a New Life. So thank you guys again. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. I will be putting up the video in regards to my process of renewing. That is always stressful because they make it stressful. So that is my stress point when I have to deal with uploading these documents every year. So that is one of the stresses I do have in France once a year. So thank you guys again. Please follow me here, like, comment, share, and I will check you guys on the next video.